Mic check, mic check, mic check. In stream, I've got mic check. Take a quick look here to see everybody. Welcome everyone checking on the volume. We'll be back with you in a moment. All right, welcome everyone. We had a spot without internet, had to restart some things, and so I'm a little bit behind on getting started, but I think we're going to get things caught up as quickly as we can. I didn't get the lineups as quick as I'd like, but stay with us. We're going to bring you a baseball game. The Johnson County Cavaliers will be the home, and your KCK Blue Devils will be the visitors on the scoreboard. The pitcher for Johnson County is Stone. McClure, Tisdale, and Edwards left to right across the outfield. Black, Fleck, Mosh, and Brewer across the infield with Kilgore behind the plate and Stone on the mound. We'll get things. The volume was there and awesome, so thank you very much. We are ready to get this thing going. Thank you. We've got a few people that are taking a look at it, so we've got a couple of things we're going to do a little differently tonight. We'll see if I can get all that to work out and have some fun with it. Got a couple of new things we'll see if we get worked out. So here we go. It's going to be Basler, Golbeck, and Patterson are going to start things off. And Basler will step in. And he is hit by a pitch. So Basler will head down to first. I didn't get to see it, but he was hopping around like it hit him on the foot. So the leadoff man is on. And that is going to bring up Gary Goldbeck. So Goldbeck will step in. We'll get caught up on some of their batting averages and so forth here in a little bit. There is strike one to Goldbeck. Goldbeck starts the day batting .428. There's a strike called, so 0-2 the count on Goldbeck. Welcome to the broadcast for those of you that have chosen to check ours out. I appreciate it so much. Runner at first base, Goldbeck at the plate, and there he fouls that one away. Maybe I should just take a shot and leave Derek up on there during his at-bat and see if I can't get it switched to the next person. So trying something a little different tonight. Welcome again. There's a swing and a miss for the strikeout. So that's going to bring up Patterson. Patterson will step in with one out and one on. Patterson starts the day batting .324. He steps in as a right-handed hitter to face the right-handed Stone. Stone, a tall righty on the mound for Johnson County Cavaliers. The runner goes, and it is a ball and out at second base. So Basler is caught stealing. So now Patterson's up there with 2 outs. Comes the 1-0 to Patterson. That's up a little bit high, so 2-0 the count on him. Kind of working our scoreboard from down below. We'll see if we get caught back up. 1-0 the count, 2-0 the count. There is a pitch inside. That pitch right there looked pretty good. So 3-0 on the scoreboard. It's only showing 2-0 on ours, so I'll see if there's some kind of a delay in it. There's a strike outside corner at the knees. 3-1 the count. Here comes the pitch. High fly ball into center field. Tisdale slides over, and he's going to take care of it. So Tisdale takes care of that fly ball, and it is a hit by a pitch, a strikeout, a caught stealing, and a fly out. So no runs on no hits for the Blue Devils. Welcome to the broadcast. Thank you. We'll kind of get some things caught up and going. I appreciate you. I'll be back. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. All right, Mason Davenport will be on the mound for the Blue Devils. McClure, Fleck, and Mosh will be up for Johnson County Cavaliers. Davenport will be on the mound. There's a look at Davenport. Davenport is from Tonganoxie, Kansas. He has an ERA of 3.96, a 6-1 record. As we go to the bottom half of the first inning, Jake McClure will lead things off for Johnson County Cavaliers. Then it'll be Maddox Fleck and Jack Mosh. So it's Jake McClure rather than Jack. Sorry about that. McClure is the left fielder. McClure starts the day batting .338. Way up high and all the way back to the screen. With that, Nolan the fourth, Kern and Dirks left to right across the outfield. Mervosh, Golbeck, Basler, Woida left to right across the infield with Patterson behind the plate. That's low and inside, so 2-0 the count on Jake McClure. There's a pitch strike called outside part of the plate at the knees. There's another strike right through there, so 2-2 the count. Think we've got our scoreboard going, get most of our lineup going here. Welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for those of you that have chosen to listen. There's a ground ball holded at Golbeck. Golbeck's up with it and over to Woida for the 6-3 ground out of McClure. That's going to bring up Maddox Fleck. Fleck will step in with one out and nobody on. Fleck starts the day batting .359. He steps in on the left-handed side to face the righty Davenport. 1 out. That ball sails just a little bit inside. 1-0 the count. There's a strike called inside corner at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. It's a high fly ball into center field. Kern back, and he's going to take care of that. So Maddox flies out to Kern in center field. And that's going to bring up Jack Mosh. Mosh will step in with nobody on and 2 outs. Ground out to Goldbeck and a fly out to Kern. And there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. First inning action, KCK versus Johnson. That's low and inside for ball 1. Lights starting to take effect as the sun is gone behind the building. There's a strike, catches the inside corner, much to the dismay of Mosh. There's a ball headed into shallow left, going out. That's going to be a base hit. So a base hit into shallow left field. And that's going to bring up Brewer. Dagan Brewer. Brewer will step in with the runner at first and 2 outs. First pitch is a ball, 1-0 the count. Bottom of the first inning action. Blue Devils had a leadoff hit by a pitch, then a strikeout, a caught stealing, and a fly out to center field in the top half of the first. There's a strike outside corner, so 1-1 the count. Runner down at first base is Mosh. He's the second baseman. Little toss over to first. Nothing much going on over there. That pitch is way outside. Two and one the count. The foul ball backing out of play, so 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Comes the pitch, that's up high. So 3-2 the count now. The runner at first, Jack Mosh, will be off with the pitch. Mason Davenport on the mound for the Blue Devils. Runner goes. There's a foul ball headed down the right field line. We'll have to get Jack Mosh to come back, and we'll do it again. So we'll do the 3-2 count again. Runner goes. That's a little bit low and outside. So Brewer's on with a walk. Runners at first and second. That's going to bring up Mike and Miller. Miller will step in. He bats on the left-handed side to face the righty Davenport. Mosh at second. Brewer at first. Miller at the plate. Miller starts the day batting .374. There's a strike, catches the inside corner. So the inside corner at the lower quadrant of the knees has been the friend so far strike-wise. If Davenport can just keep that in use. There's a line drive, and up in the air and grabs that is Basler. So Basler times it, goes up and gets that line drive, makes a great play. We will go to the top of the second inning. No score. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. All right, back to the game. Top of the second inning, no score. Brandon Stone has a 3.18 ERA, and he has 11-1 record. So Jace Woida will be up for the Blue Devils. Woida will step in to lead things off for the Blue Devils here in the top of the second. First pitch to him, and it's headed for the gap in right center. That's going to be extra bases for Woida, and he's into second base with a double. So Woida plugs the gap for a double. Woida started the day batting .402. That's going to bring up Frankie Santiago. Santiago is a switch hitter. He will be on the left-handed side to face the righty Stone with a runner at second base and nobody out. First pitch is a ball, 1-0 the count. Neither team scored in their halves of the first. Woida led off the top of the second with a double into the right center gap right at the .375 sign. There's a swing and a miss by Santiago. So 1-1 the count on him. There's a ball headed to deep left. That's going to be taken care of by Tisdale for the first out of the inning. Tisdale had him played toward left center a little bit. Makes the play. That's going to bring up Freddie Nolan the fourth. Nolan the fourth will step in with a runner at second base and one out now. Nolan the fourth starts the day batting .336. Comes the first pitch to him. There's a ball off the glove of the third baseman and back in. So Black takes that one. Hopper, we'll see if that scored as a hit or a run. It was scorched at him pretty hard. We'll see what they do on the scoreboard, but Nolan the fourth will be down at first, and Nolan the fourth will put that down as a hit for the time being. They haven't put anything up there. That's going to bring up Marcus Dirks. Dirks will step in. Squares to bunt, back to the pitcher. Pitcher's going to go down to first. Just barely gets him. But Dirks with the sac bunt. Dirks started the day batting .402, so he gets the sac bunt, and that's going to bring up Mervosh. Mervosh will step in with runners at second and third, 2 outs now. Into the wind is Stone, and the first pitch is a strike. Not a big fan of how wide the strike zone is, but it'll be consistent there. Seen this umpire before. It'll be consistently wide. On the outside corner, there's a foul ball back to the screen. So 0-2 the count. I want to thank everyone for joining me this evening. I appreciate it. I know Coach Goldbeck and Mr. McVeigh, the AD, all appreciate when you watch. That's up a little bit high. Watch and or listen. So I appreciate you being here. Runners at second and third, as you can see on the scoreboard. 1-2 the count on Jackson Mervosh. That misses just a little bit outside. Mervosh starts the day batting .341. He'll step back in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on here in the top of the second inning. Foul ball back to the screen, so we'll do the 2-2 again. The pitch. There's a ground ball. That's going to be over the top of the pitcher, and a nice play by the shortstop Fleck to come take the ball right by second base and just to get Mervosh out on a nice play by the shortstop Fleck. So, at the end of 1.5, there's no score. I'll be back. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. All right, back to the game we go. Bottom of the second inning action. Kilgore, Edwards, and Black scheduled up. So Kilgore will lead things off here. Kilgore starts the day batting .395. There's a strike outside corner at the waist. 0-1 the count. Davenport, a tall righty on the mound for the Blue Devils. Comes the 0-1. That's way out in front of the plate and bounces. Nolan the fourth, Kern and Dirks left to right across the outfield. Mervosh, Golbeck, Basler, Woida left to right across the infield with Patterson behind the plate and Davenport on the mound. Davenport from Tonganoxie, Kansas. There's a swing and a miss, so 1-2 the count. On the catcher, Cal Kilgore. Comes the 1-2 pitch. Just a little bit low. 2-2 the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out as Cal Kilgore, the catcher, leads things off here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. It's a swing and a miss of the high heater for the strikeout for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Riker Edwards. Edwards will step in with 1 out, nobody on. Edwards bats from the right-handed side. He's the right fielder. He'll face the righty Davenport. He starts the day batting .366, does Edwards. And there's a strike on that outside corner at the knees. 0-1 the count. Squares to bunt. The bunt's down. Mervosh is going to take it. And the throw and out at the base. The first base coach is pointing at Wojda with the stretch off there. And Wojda with a nice job staying on the base. And that's going to be 2 outs now. That's going to bring up Jordan Black. Black will step in with 2 outs and nobody on. He's the third baseman. Black starts the day batting .347. 2 outs now. That misses low and outside. 1-0 the count. There's a strike inside part of the plate at the knees. So 1-1 the count. It's been a beautiful sunshiny day with 3 games already played today. I'll cover those a little bit here in a little bit. That's up high. So 2-1 the count. The Johnson Cavaliers, the number 1 seed. The Blue Devils, the number 5 seed. That misses just a little bit high and inside. Johnson County beat Butler 9-3 yesterday. KCK beat Cloud 3-1 to be here in this game. There's a high pop-up on the left side. And Mervosh says he'll take it, and he does. So 3 up, 3 down in the inning, and we go to the top of the 3rd inning. No score. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. So earlier today, Dodge City and Hutch played after they each ended up in the loser's bracket. So let me go back to the winners. Cali yesterday beat Dodge City 8-5 to move into the winner's bracket. They played a little just before this game. Barton beat Hutchison 5-3 to get to the winner's bracket. And Barton beat Cali 9-8 in the 4 o'clock game. So Barton has punched their ticket to get to stay in the winner's bracket, as KCK and Johnson are fighting for that other spot in the winner's bracket. So tomorrow, Cali and Butler will play at 10 a.m. and Hutch will play at 1 against the loser of this game. And Barton will get the winner of this game. So that's going to bring up Kern, and then back to the top of the order, and Basler. Kern will lead things off here in the top of the 3rd inning to face Stone. There's a ball into the corner past the diving Third baseman Black, and Kern is headed into second base with a double down into the corner. So another leadoff double. Woida had a leadoff double the last inning, and the Blue Devils couldn't get him scored. So back to the top of the order. And Basler will step in. Basler is from Lansing, Kansas. He squares to bunt, takes high and inside. Basler, a switch hitter up there on the left-handed side, facing Brandon Stone, the righty from Shawnee Mission, Kansas. Runner at second is Kern. There's a ball past the first baseman, Brewer, and coming around to score. So Basler with the RBI after the double by Kern into the right field corner with that RBI hit, and the Blue Devils have taken a 1-0 lead. So that's going to bring up Goldbeck. Goldbeck is from Kansas City, Kansas. He'll step in. He struck out his first time up. Squares, and he pulls the ball with a bunt, and he's dragging that bunt, trying to get Basler over to second. Just a little bit wide of the bag down at first. Brewer comes in and grabs it while it's foul. So the Blue Devils strike first here in the top of the third with a double by Kern and a RBI base hit by Basler. See if he stays with the bunt. Does not. Swing and a miss, so quickly 0-2 the count. On the shortstop, Gary Goldbeck. One and two the count. That ball just misses. Basler down at first. Had a base hit into the right field corner. Gary Goldbeck at the plate. Blue Devils lead 1-0. Top of the third inning action. There's a foul ball back up here and into the bleachers. So we'll do the 1-2 again. Comes the pitch, and a strike three called. That's that inside corner that I said could be Davenport's best friend. So a punch out of Goldbeck for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Patterson. Patterson will step in with one out and one on and one in. Patterson is from Auburn, Kansas. He flew out to Tisdale in center field his first time up. There's a pickoff attempt on Basler. Basler is over to second. The ball went down the right field line, and coach is going to bring him to third and decide to hold him there. So the pickoff attempt by Stone, and the ball gets away from Brewer and goes down the right field line. And Basler is able to get all the way to third. So a runner now at third and one out. Going to get a visit to the mound by the pitching coach of Johnson County. So yet last night, for those of you that did not get in on the game, we started about an hour late, had a lightning delay here on the campus of the Wichita State University Shockers. A beautiful facility down here. This is a tournament that for years was played at the Lawrence Dumont Stadium. That's a little bit further south and west of here, I believe. And that stadium was torn down and a new one has been built, but the tournament has not thus far been back there. Wichita is a great area for this tournament. They have the hotels. They have the baseball facility. They have the infrastructure to take care of it. We'll see. It was at K-State a couple of times. It's been around the state a little bit, but it looks like there could be a good home for this tournament here. Okay, back to the action. Here comes the first pitch to take a look down here. It doesn't look like Patterson at the plate. There's a ball that's popped up. It is Patterson. He pops up and a foul ball in foul territory, and that's taken care of by Brewer. So in foul territory with that pop up, and that's going to bring up Wojda. Wojda will step in with 2 outs and a runner at third now. Wojda is from Lincoln, Nebraska. He had a double plug in the right field gap his first time up. There's a little check swing, and that's going to be ruled a strike. The twist at the hips, he held the hands, but the bat crossed and was ruled a strike. 0-1 the count. And a balk was called. Coach Golbeck was all over that, as well as the umpires. So the balk is going to score Basler. So Basler has an RBI run and then a run scored to make it 2-0. There's a ball headed into center field and a diving attempt by the second baseman, Mosh, and it just hits off the base of his glove, and that's going to be a base hit for Wojda. So that'll bring up Frankie Santiago. Santiago is from Calle, Puerto Rico. He will step in with 2 outs and a runner at first base. There's a ball headed into left field. The left fielder, McClure, is going to take care of that. So Santiago with back-to-back flyouts, 1 to left and 1 to center. But the Blue Devils score 2 runs on 3 hits. And we go to the bottom half of the third inning. Blue Devils leading 2-0. I'll be back. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. So Davenport back to the mound. Davenport is from Tonganoxie, Kansas. Davenport has a 3.96 ERA. 6-1 is his record. Scheduled up is Tisdale, then back to the top of the order, and McClure and Fleck. So Tisdale will be up. Tisdale starts the day batting .281, and he's hit by a pitch. So back to the top of the order in McClure. McClure will step in with a runner at first base. McClure is from Gardner, Kansas. He steps in on the left-handed side to face the righty Davenport. Little toss over to first, back in safely is Tisdale. Tisdale has 9 stolen bases and has been caught 3 times, caught stealing. There's the first pitch, and that's low for ball one. 1-0 the count. Top of the third inning action, 1-0 the count on McClure. He grounded out to Goldbeck at short his first time up. There's a strike, catches the outside corner, so 1-1 the count. On the left fielder, Jake McClure. Another toss over to first, nothing going on over there. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Lefty McClure at the plate, facing Davenport for the Blue Devils. That misses up and out just a bit, so 2-1 the count. Comes the stretch and the 2-1. There's a ground ball that's going to be into right field for a base hit. See if they're going to test the arm of Dirks, and no, they are not. So a base hit by McClure, and the Cavaliers have something going on here. That's going to bring up Fleck. Fleck will step in with runners at first and second. Fleck is from Omaha, Nebraska. Davenport steps off. So Tisdale is hit by a pitch. McClure gets a base hit between Basler and Moida. And Fleck is at the plate. He flew out to Kern in center field his first time up. He squares to bunt. Takes a strike on the outside corner. So 0-1 the count on the shortstop, Maddox Fleck. The bunt is down, and down to first, and backing up is Basler. What a great opportunity there. I believe it was going to be a bunt hit in the first place. So that will be a bunt hit by Fleck. And that's going to bring up Mosh. Mosh is from Kansas City, Missouri. He'll step in now with the bases loaded and nobody out for the Cavaliers. There's a ball pulled down the right field line, but way out in front of that, over the top of the bleachers and out of the stadium. So 0-1 the count. Bases full of Cavaliers. Nobody out. There's a ball headed down the left field line. That's going to be on top of the workout area. Jack Mosh, the second baseman, he had a base hit into shallow left center his first time up. Just deep enough to get over Goldbeck and shallow enough to be in front of Nolan the fourth and Kern. There's a ball that's inside, so 1-2 the count. Just about hit him. You hate to have an 0-2 count and hit a batter. Comes the 1-2. There's a fly ball hit into deep left field. That's going to be over Kern. So it's going to score 1-2. So Mosh with the double to left center for 2 RBI. And just like that, the hit by pitch is one of those runs that you like to not have, but runners will be at second and third and still nobody out. And that's going to bring up Dagan Brewer. Brewer will step in. with nobody on and 2 still on. He's from Topeka, Kansas. There's a high fly ball to deep center field. Going back is Kern, and at the warning track, he takes care of that. So the sac fly by Dagan Brewer, the first baseman. And that's going to put the Cavaliers up 3-2. So the Blue Devils got 2 in the third, and Johnson County has answered with 3 here in the bottom half. There's a foul ball out in front of that is Micah Miller. Miller is from Ostega, Minnesota. He hit a line rocket headed toward left center, right center that was taken care of by Basler his first time. And there's a line drive that's going to be another sac fly. So another sac fly. That ball hit on a line, but deep enough. And the Cavaliers have taken a 4-2 lead. It hasn't shown up there yet. That's going to bring up Cal Kilgore. Kilgore will step in. Kilgore is from Overland Park, Kansas. He takes a strike. He struck out his first time up. So the Blue Devils get 2 in top of the third, and the Cavaliers have come back and plated 4 so far here in the bottom half. That ball's up high, so 1-1 the count. Blue Devils trailing 4-2. Davenport on the mound. Mosh with a 2 RBI double, and then Brewer and Miller each with sac flies for the next 2 runs. That's outside and high, so 2-1 the count. So a hit by pitch, and then base hit, double, sac fly. So 2 outs, but 4 runs in. There's a swing and a miss. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs on the catcher, Cal Kilgore. That's up high. So 3-2 the count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Davenport on the mound for the Blue Devils. Foul ball back to the screen. So Kilgore earns another pitch by fouling that one away. Comes the 3-2. Strike 3 called, catches the outside corner at the waist. So the Cavaliers get 4 runs on 3 hits. They take a 4-2 lead as we go to the top of the 4th inning. These 2 teams trying to get to the next round of the winners bracket to play Barton tomorrow at 4. I'll be back. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. To the top of the 4th we go. Brandon Stone, he's on the mound for the Cavaliers. The Blue Devils scheduled to send up Nolan the 4th, Dirks, and Mervosh. The defense behind Stone is McClure, Tisdale in, Edwards in, left to right across the outfield, Black, Fleck, Mosh, and Brewer left to right across the infield with Kilgore behind the plate and Brandon Stone on the mound. So Freddie Nolan, the fourth, will stroll to the plate. He had a base hit past the diving Black at third, his first time up. Nolan, the fourth, is from Fort Worth, Texas. He takes a ball. First pitch, 1-0 the count to him. Comes the wind in, the pitch from Stone, and that's a strike on the outside corner. 1-1 the count on Nolan the fourth as he leads off the top of the fourth inning. A little bit further outside with that pitch. It's called a ball, so 2-1 the count. Blue Devils trail 4-2 here. There's a ball headed toward the second baseman. He slides shallow right field, and Mosh over to Brewer for the 4-3 ground out. That's going to bring up Marcus Dirks. Dirks will step in with one out. Takes a strike. Dirks is from Kansas City, Kansas. That just misses. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Dirks had a sac bunt his last time up, fouled that one away, 1-2 the count. Comes the wind in, the 1-2 from Brandon Stone. That's high and inside. 2-2 the count. Got this one started about 7:50. The previous game ran over just a bit. It was a heck of a game. Back and forth lead changes in the last 3 innings. Made it a pretty long game. There's a ball fouled down the left field line. Here comes the 2-2. Another foul ball back to the screen. Marcus Dirks, the right fielder. Strike called. There's that inside corner at the knees that I spoke of, and that's gotten Goldbeck and Dirks on that one. That's going to bring up Mervosh. Mervosh will step in with 2 outs and nobody on. Mervosh is from Lenexa, Kansas. He hits a ground ball toward third base and Black. Black is up with it and over to Brewer for the 5-3 ground out. So in the 4th inning, the Blue Devils get no runs on no hits. And we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Blue Devils trailing the Johnson Cavaliers 4-2. I'll be back. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. All right, Davenport is back for another inning of work for the Blue Devils. The Cavaliers will send up Edwards, Black, and Tisdale. The Cavaliers lead 4-2 over the Blue Devils. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning here in this winner's bracket game. The winner with the opportunity to play Barton to continue in the winner's bracket. The loser will move to the loser's bracket and play at 1 tomorrow against Hutchinson. So Edwards steps in. He grounded out to Mervosh at third his first time up. There's a ball headed to deep center field. Headed back is Kern. And Kern runs it down at the warning track. A great job. He got turned around and had to veer back to his right as he was looking left, but he runs it down for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Jordan Black. Black is from Shawnee Mission, Kansas. There's a foul ball just wide of third base down there. Riker Edwards with that long fly. He's from Smithville, Missouri. So 0-1 the count on Jordan Black, the third baseman. That misses for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. That's outside. 2-1 the count. That's up high. 2024 NJCAA Plains District Baseball Tournament here at Eck Stadium on the campus of the Wichita State University Shockers. The winner of this tournament goes to Grand Junction, Colorado for the World Series Junior College Division I. There's a sky-high foul ball, and Mervosh takes care of that. Had plenty of time on the height of that one to finish all the information about the tournament. So that's going to bring up Tisdale. Tisdale will step in. He's from Choctaw, Oklahoma. There's a foul ball back and over the net. He was hit by a pitch his first time up and ended up scoring on the double by Mosh. On 1 the count on him. That misses just a little bit low and outside. So 1-1 the count. Beautiful night here in Wichita, Kansas. It was a beautiful day for baseball as well. Watched parts of all 3 games. Kind of ran back and forth. There's a line drive headed for left center, and Golbeck runs it down and takes care of it. So 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the fourth. We go to the top of the fifth. Blue Devils trailing the Johnson Cavaliers 4-2. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. right back for another inning of work is Stone. Stone, the tall righty on the mound for the Cavaliers. McClure, Tisdale, Edwards left to right across the outfield. Black, Fleck, Mosh, and Brewer left to right across the infield with Kilgore behind the plate. That's the defense behind Brandon Stone. That's going to bring up Kern. Kern is from Lawrence, Kansas. He had a double into the left field corner in the third inning. Then scored on the Basler base hit. There's low and outside, ball 1-0 the count. On the center fielder, Brady Kern. Winding the pitch. There's a base hit headed for left field. So left field is Kern's friend as he has back-to-back hits to left field. So back to the top of the order and Basler. Basler will step in with a runner at first base and nobody out. We'll see if Bunny is on. Switch hitting Basler on the left-handed side facing the righty. Swing and a miss of the first pitch. Outfield playing pretty much straight up. Center fielder Tisdale just moved a little bit toward the right field side. There's a ball headed up the middle past the diving Fleck. And Kern will have to stop at second base. So a couple of back-to-back base hits, and that's going to bring up Goldbeck. Goldbeck will step in with runners at first and second and nobody out. Goldbeck struck out in the first and then was called out on strikes in the third. I see a bunt coming here, and he takes up high for ball 1-0 the count. 89-mile-an-hour fastball right there by Brandon Stone. Squares to bunt, that's going to be foul. Third base side, wide of the base, just a little bit behind Coach Goldbeck down there at third. For anyone that might be listening from that doesn't know, that is his son at the plate. The runners go, and there's nobody covering third. So Kern with the square to bunt and Black coming in deep enough, the catcher Kilgore started to throw, but there was nobody down there. So Kern with the stolen base, he's now at third. So runners at the corners, 2-1 the count. We'll see if the bunt is still on. That may cause the bunt to be pulled instead of pushed to third. We'll see. And he takes up a little bit high, so he didn't square the bunt on that one. 3-1 the count. Nobody out. Runners at the corners. Blue Devils trail by 2 here in the top of the fifth. There's a ball headed to the second baseman. Diving play. And Goldbeck is going to be out on a nice diving play by Mosh. But a run will score on the ground out. So that's going to bring up Patterson. Patterson will step to the plate now with one out and a runner at second base. There's a ball out in front of that, dribbled over toward the third base dugout. Patterson flew out to center field in the first and popped out in foul territory to Brewer, the first baseman down by our dugout. His second time up. There, that misses a little bit outside. 87-mile-an-hour fastball by Stone. Runner at second base, 1 run in on the ground out by Goldbeck. There's a strike right through there. So 1-2 the count on the catcher, Brady Patterson. Comes the 1-2. There's a ball just foul. Went ahead and dove for that, did. Black at third base. Jordan Black, the third baseman, wasn't taking any chances, but the ball was past him and foul. 1-2 on Patterson, the catcher. There's a ball headed back up the middle. The second baseman was playing up toward the middle, and that got past Stone and taken care of by Mosh. So Mosh over to Brewer for the 4-3 ground out, and the runner moves over to third base. Does Basler. That's going to bring up Wada. Wada will step in. He takes ball 1. Want to know the count on Wada. Basler at third. There's a ball pulled down the right field line and foul. Wada has a double in the second and a single in the third. 1-1 the count. Here's the wind and the pitch. There's a ball right back up the middle, and that's an RBI base hit. Right back up through the box. And the RBI by Goldbeck and there by Wada. And this game is tied back up again at 4. So that's going to bring up Santiago. Santiago's been out on the fly to center and to left. He also a switch hitter on the left-handed side. There's a fastball at 82 miles an hour. Misses for a ball. Santiago, the designated hitter. The wind in the pitch, low and inside. That's just a little bit lower than that called strike area that we've had twice so far on our batters. It's consistently there. Here comes the 2-0. Swing and a miss of that heater. So 2-1 the count. 91 miles an hour. So the scoreboard says. There's a high chopper headed to the first baseman. Going to be a race to the bag, and then he decides to stop and tag him. So Brewer with the unassisted put out of Santiago. So the Blue Devils get 2 runs on 3 hits and tie this thing back up. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, all tied up at 4. I'll be back. Thanks for being with me. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. All right, we've made it halfway through this one. Davenport back to the mound for another inning of work for the Blue Devils. The Cavaliers will send up McClure, Fleck, and Mosh. Bottom of the 5th inning action, all tied up. It's going to bring up McClure. McClure is grounded out and had a base hit between Basler and Woida at first and second. That ball misses low and inside. 1-0 the count. McClure, the original leadoff hitter for the Cavaliers. There's a ball hit up the middle. Backhand dive by Basler, up and makes the throw. He's called safe. Nice job. That's going to be an infield hit. Diving into the outfield, Basler thought he got him, but nonetheless, great play diving, and that's going to be a base hit up the middle for him. That's going to bring up Fleck. Fleck will step in with a runner at first base and nobody out. Fleck's on the left-handed side. Mervosh in at the grass. Did not square, did Fleck. Fleck flew out to Kern in center field and then had a bunt hit in the third. Nobody out. There's a strike outside half of the plate at the knees. Just over halfway through this one. All tied up at 4. It's outside, squares to bunt and pulls it back. 2-1 the count. Davenport in his 5th inning of work. Comes the pitch. Fouls that down the left field line and into the bullpen of the Cavaliers. Nobody working in earnest in either dugout or either bullpen. The stretch and the pitch from Davenport just a little bit low. So 3-2 the count. Three balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runner at first base is Jake McClure. He had a base hit to lead off this inning. There's a toss over. No tag by Woida, just a little toss back. Another toss over, nothing going on. Fleck has 65 hits on the year, 2 home runs, 27 RBI. Runner goes, and the ball's fouled back, so we'll do the 3-2 again after McClure retreats back to first. Comes the 3-2, runner goes, and it's ball 4. That was a pretty good-looking pitch right there. I believe it was down. So a base hit and a walk, and that's going to bring up Mosh. Mosh will step in with nobody out. Runners at first and second. Mosh had a base hit in the first and a 2 RBI double in the third. There's a strike called. Mosh has 46 RBI, 10 doubles, 2 triples, 6 home runs. Squares to bunt, takes it back. Pretty good looking pitch right there. Ruled a ball. 1-1 the count. I may have missed one of those. Both my scoreboard that's being run by a dad and the scoreboard out in the field both had 1-1, so I thought it was 2-0. Now it's 2-1. That ball misses low and inside. In tight on the grass is Mervosh. Comes the pitch from Davenport, and the bunt is down. Mervosh is going to go down to Woida. So Mosh with the 5-3 sack bunt. And runners will now be at second and third with one out, and that's going to bring up Dagan Brewer. Brewer will step in. He's the first baseman. He walked in the first. Had a sac fly to center field in the third. That was the third RBI of the game for the Cavaliers. There's a strike right through there. Dagan Brewer has the second highest batting average at .418. The only person is Buckman ahead of that with 500. There is a ground ball to Mervosh. Mervosh is up with it, and one hops it to Woida. Woida grabs it, goes back, and steps on the bag. So a nice job by Woida to save Mervosh a little bit on that one. And the runner still at second base. So that's going to bring up Mike and Miller. Miller step in with a runner at second base and 2 outs. He was robbed of a hit by Basler at second and then had a sac fly in the third. That ball misses outside, 1-0 the count. So Johnson takes the 5-4 lead. Here in the bottom of the fifth. There's a swing and a miss of that pitch, so 2-1 the count. Two balls, one strike. 3-1 the count. Now that just misses. So the ground ball by Brewer plates one of the runs. There's a swing and a miss. So 3-2 the count. So we had a base hit, then a walk, then a sac bunt, then a ground out. That the runner stays at second, but the runner at third scores to take a 5-4 lead by Johnson. There's a foul ball back and up over to our left. It's going to get caught in the luxury seats with 2 rows of seats that are out in the weather, and behind them is a nice area for a luxury box. So we'll do the 3-2 again. There's a ball right back up the middle. That's going to be an RBI base hit by Miller. So taking a 6-4 lead on that 2-out base hit. We're going to get a visit to the mound. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back. Blue Devils have given up 2 in the inning after they had tied it up, and now they trail by 2 again. I'll be back. Pitching changes being made. Number 50 will come in. That is the lefty, Bryson Vaughter. He is from Topeka, Kansas. He will take over for Davenport. Here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, so Davenport goes 4 2/3 inning. He gives way to Bryson Vaughter. Vaughter has a 5.60 ERA. He has a 3-2 record. He will take over for Davenport, so the lefty comes in. We'll take a short break. We'll be back. So the pitching change has been made. That's going to bring up Kilgore. Kilgore will step in with 2 outs and a runner at first base. There's a throw over to first by the lefty, Bryson Vaughter. Kilgore has struck out in the 2nd and was called out on strikes in the 3rd. Vaughter would like to have one of those right now. First pitch is outside and low, 1-0 the count. There's a strike called outside corner at the knees. Blue Devils trailing 6-4 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Another throw over to first. Nothing going on over there. Blue Devils got 2 in the 3rd. Johnson answered with 4 in the 3rd. Blue Devils score 2 more in the 5th, and so far 2 more added on here for the Cavaliers. There's a strike on the outside corner, so 1-2 the count. Kilgore with 49 hits on the year, 17 doubles. That is the 2nd highest for the Cavaliers. There's a ball headed at Golbeck. He underhanded to Basler for the final out of the inning. So the Cavaliers get 2 runs on 2 hits, and we go to the top of the 6th inning. Blue Devils trailing the Johnson Cavaliers 6-4. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. All right, back for another inning of work is Stone. Blue Devils will send up Nolan the fourth, Dirks, and Mervosh. Blue Devils trailing 6-4 here in the top of the sixth inning. The winner will play tomorrow in the winner's bracket at 4 p.m. against Barton. The loser of this game will play at 1 p.m. against Hutch for the opportunity to play against Butler or Cali, whoever the winner of that game is. So a lot of work to be done in this one. Staying in the winner's bracket, always a good thing. There's a pitch on that outside corner that gets so stinking wide that I disapprove of. But consistently called a strike there. Nolan the fourth, and there's another one, back-to-back strikes out there. Nolan the fourth, he's had a base hit past the diving third baseman Black and grounded out to the second baseman. There's a swing and a miss, so 3 straight strikes, 2 called and 1 swinging, and that's going to bring up Marcus Dirks. Dirks will step in on the left-handed side as usual. He's had a sac bunt and was called out on strikes. There's a strike on the inside corner at the knees for strike 1 called. There's a ball that misses low and outside. Pretty good-looking pitch right there. Got past and popped out of the glove of the catcher, Kilgore. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out to Marcus Dirks. There's a little check swing foul back into the net. So 1-2 the count on the right fielder, Marcus Dirks. That misses for a ball, 2-2. Dirks has the third highest batting average along with Wood, actually the second, and there's strike 3 called. Tried to pull the trigger but couldn't do it. So that's going to bring up Mervosh. Mervosh will step in with 2 outs and nobody on. Mervosh is grounded out to the shortstop, making a great diving play up the middle and then to the third baseman Black. So Fleck makes a great play diving up the middle to get Mervosh and then Black. So a couple of ground outs to the left side to Mervosh. That's outside. 1-1 the count on Jackson Mervosh, the third baseman. There's a foul ball back to the screen, so 2-1 the count. The wind and the 2-1. It's a ground ball right past the bag down to Brewer. Brewer grabs it and steps on the bag for a 3 unassisted. So a quick 3 up, 3 down, no runs on, no hits. And we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Blue Devils trailing the Cavaliers of Johnson 6-4. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. All right, Vaughter back for his second inning of work. He came in and got 1 out in the 5th inning. Edwards will lead things off for the Cavaliers. First pitch to him is a ball. Nolan the fourth, Kern and Dirks, left to right across the outfield. Mervosh, Golbeck, Basler, Woida across the infield. Patterson behind the plate. There's a swing and a miss. There's a prime example of trying to pull that low outside pitch and comes up empty. So 1-1 the count. Little check swing and ruled a strike. So the umpire called that a swing. So 1-2 the count on Riker Edwards. Swing and a miss of the high heater. Edwards 0 for 3 with a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. It's going to bring up Jordan Black. Black will step in with 1 out and nobody on. He popped out twice to Mervosh at third, once in fair and once in foul. There's a strike, catches the outside corner. Jordan Black, the third baseman as well for the Cavaliers. Comes the 0-1 way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning action. The ball headed into right field on the run, coming hard, and Basler can't get to it, and neither can Dirks. So a 1-out hit into shallow right field by Jordan Black, and that's going to bring up Jesse Tisdale. Tisdale's been hit by a pitch and hit a line drive just a couple steps to the left of Golbeck. Swing and a miss of that first pitch, 0-1 the count. Runner at first base is Jordan Black. He had a bloop hit to right field. He's over there with 1 out. Swing and a miss by Tisdale. Tisdale, the center fielder for Johnson County Cavaliers. Little toss over to first. Back in safely is Black. Comes the pitch. The ball headed into center field. Kern cuts it off. It's going to get away and come back in, and that's going to be a double. The ball was trying to scooch past him. It was going to probably be a double either way. So runners at second and third and back to the top of the order, and McClure. McClure has a ground out, a base hit, and a base hit. So 2 for 3 on the evening. He's up there lefty versus lefty with Vaughter on. Squares to bunt, and that's going to be up and over the top of the net and out of play. So 0-1 that count. Comes the stretch and the 0-1. Nicely blocked by Patterson. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Johnson County beat Butler 9-3 to be here. And Kansas City, Kansas Blue Devils beat Cloud 3-1 to be here in this position. There's the bunt is down and the toss over. So the sack bunt for the RBI, and Vaughter comes off and gets that one for the 1-4 ground out, or the 1-3 ground out with Basler covering. but an RBI makes it 7-4, and now 2 outs. That's going to bring up Maddox Fleck. That's way high and outside. Fleck has been out on a fly, had a bunt hit, and reached on a base on balls. There's a strike inside corner at the knees. 1-1 the count. 2 outs, runner at third base. 1 run in the inning. Way outside. Blue Devils with 2 in the third, 2 in the fifth. Cavaliers with 4 in the third, 2 in the fifth, and 1 here in the sixth. 7-4 their lead. Swing and a miss of that pitch, so 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs to the shortstop, Maddox Fleck. Comes the pitch, that's way high and outside. So 3-2 the count. Vaughter is from Topeka, Kansas. There's a swing and a miss for the strikeout. So the Cavaliers get 1 run on 2 hits. So we go to the top of the 7th inning with Johnson County Cavaliers leading the KCK Blue Devils 7-4. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. All right, to the top of the 7th we go. Blue Devils trailing Johnson 7-4. Kern will lead things off for the Blue Devils. Kern had a double his first time up in the 3rd, and then a single and a stolen base his 2nd time up. There's a misses outside. That's that place that's usually called a strikeout there. 1-0 the count. That's outside, so 2-0 the count. On the leadoff hitter here of the Blue Devils in the top of the 7th, they trail by 3. There's a foul ball going to get up into the bleachers. 2-1 the count. McClure, Tisdale, Edwards across the outfield, left to right. Black, Fleck, Mosh, Brewer across the infield with Kilgore behind the plate and Stone on the mound. There's a strike called. There's that outside corner low and outside that I talk about. Strike called. 2-2 the count now as Kern leads off the top of the 7th for the Blue Devils. That's up high. 90-mile-an-hour fastball right there. 3-2 the count. Foul ball back to the screen, and Kern earns himself another pitch. Against the tall righty from Johnson County, Brendan Stone. Swing and a miss. That fastball outside part of the plate. So back to the top of the order and Basler. Basler stays on the left-handed side as the righty continues to be on the mound for Johnson County. Way inside was that pitch. Thought it was going to get him. 90-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-0 the count. There's a strike inside corner. Basler was hit by a pitch to start the game. Then he's had an RBI base hit and another base hit. There's a ball down the left field line, and that's going to get out of play. One and two the count on the second baseman, Peyton Basler. That's up high. 2-2 the count. Basler has 25 stolen bases. Like to get him on there. There's a ball headed back and up over the top of us. So we'll do the 2-2 again. Goldbeck has the only stolen bases more than Basler. Basler with 25, Goldbeck with 31. Here comes the pitch, and that's low and inside. Kilgore blocks it and keeps it right there close. 3-2 the count now. Swing and a miss, so back-to-back strikeouts. That'll bring up Goldbeck. Garrett Goldbeck will step in. He bats left. Goldbeck has been called out on strikes, had a strikeout and a ground out on a nice play by the second baseman, Mosh. It did yield a run, but Mosh was able to put him out at first. First pitch to him was low for a ball. There's a ball headed into left field. That's going to be taken by the left fielder. McClure comes in and calls off Fleck. And the Blue Devils go 3 up, 3 down. And we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Blue Devils trail by 3. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. All right, Fodder is back for another inning of work. Blue Devils starting to run short on outs here. We are in the bottom of the 7th inning, 9 innings scheduled game. Blue Devils trail by 3. Bryson Vaughter on the mound. On in relief of Davenport. Mosh, Brewer, and Miller scheduled up for the Cavaliers. Jack Mosh will lead things off here in the bottom of the seventh. He's had a base hit, a double for 2 RBI, and a sac bunt. That's high and inside for ball one. That misses low and outside, 1-0 the count. Mosh has 71 hits and 46 RBI. There's a ball headed to deep right center. That's going to be extra bases for Mosh. Mosh is going to stop it at second base with a double. So Mosh, the number 3 hitter and the second baseman, he's 3 for 3 on the night with a couple of doubles and a single as well as a sac. So that's going to bring up Dagan Brewer. Brewer, the first baseman. That misses outside, 1-0 the count. Brewer walked in the first, had a sac fly in the third, and an RBI base hit in the fifth. That was the last hitter for Mason Davenport. Way outside, so 2-0 the count. This may be one of those we're not going to let him have a chance to hurt us here with first base open. We'll see. That's outside, so 3-0 the count on the first baseman, Dagan Brewer. Seven-4 lead for the Cavaliers. It's outside for ball 4. Going to get a visit to the mound. We'll see if there's going to be a change. It looks like there is. We'll take a break. We'll get the changes. We'll be back. The Blue Devils trailing 7-4. So the Blue Devils making a pitching change. Gavin Killian will come in. He has a 3.22 ERA. His record is 3-1 on the season. He will take the mound. He is from Hughesville, Missouri, and he will take the mound with runners at first and second and nobody out, and his Blue Devils trailing 7-4. So his job at this point is to keep the score at 7-4 as he comes on in relief of Vaughter, who went an inning and a third after Davenport went 4 2/3 innings. Miller will be coming in. Mike and Miller, he's the designated hitter. Miller is going to step in. He's a lefty. He'll face the righter, Killian. So coach goes to the right-hander here, and runners at first and third. Had a double, then a base on balls. Squares to bunt and fouls it back. Does Miller. Miller was out on a wicked line drive that Basler went high to get. Then he had a sac fly. Then he's had a base hit for an RBI. So 1 for 2 on the day with 2 RBI is Mike and Miller, the designated hitter. Squares to bunt. The bunt is down. Catcher is out to get it, and Patterson down to Voida for the 2-3 ground out. That'll bring up Kilgore. He'll be up there with 1 out, and runners now at second and third. Kilgore has struck out, been called out on strikes, and was out on a fielder's choice, 6-4. Blue Devils in tight on the infield, everyone on the grass except for Golbeck. He's just a couple of steps off. There's a swing and a miss of that first pitch. 0-1 the count. Blue Devils in tight. There's a strike called so quickly. 0-2 the count on Kilgore, the catcher. So the third base coach is going to come in and visit with him and say, hey, get that out of your head now. Get up there and try and put something in play to get past this infield that's in. The Blue Devils are going to hope that it stays in his head and we get a strikeout here or a ball right at one of the infielders. So we'll see if the contact play is on, meaning wherever the balls hit, they're going, or if they are going to wait and see. So here comes the 0-2, and that's up high. 1-2 the count. Mervosh at third, Golbeck at short, Basler at second, Voida at third, all creeping into the grass on the pitch. 7-4 lead by the Cavaliers. There's a strike 3 called. There's that low strike on the outside corner. So now there are 2 outs. And that's going to go to Riker Edwards. Edwards is the right fielder. There's a ground ball back to the pitcher, Killian. Killian takes it and tosses it over to Voida. And they get no runs on 1 hit. We go to the top of the 8th. The Blue Devils got some work to do. They trail by 3. Blue Devils, let's go. We'll be back. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. So Stone back for another inning of work. Top of the 8th inning action. McClure, Tisdale, Edwards across the outfield. Black, Fleck, Mosh, and Brewer across the infield with Kilgore behind the plate. And back for his 8th inning of work is Brandon Stone. Blue Devils scheduled to send up Patterson, Voida, and Santiago. Blue Devils down to their last 6 outs in this one to stay in the winner's bracket. Winner plays tomorrow at 4, and the loser plays tomorrow at 1 against Hutch to stay in an elimination game there. Patterson will step in. He's been out on a fly twice and a ground out to the second baseman once. There's high and outside, 1-0 the count. There's a fly ball headed into deep right field. Edwards going back, sizes it up and brings it down for the first out of the inning. So that's going to bring up Woida. Woida will step in with 1 out and nobody on. Woida's had a double in the second, a single in the third, and an RBI single in the fifth. So 3 for 3 on the day is Woida, and he fouls that back and over the net. So Woida definitely wants to go 4 for 4 here and help get something started for the Blue Devils here in the top of the 8th. There's a strike on the outside corner. So quickly 0-2 the count. On the first baseman for the Blue Devils, Jace Woida. The high fly ball into shallow center field, coming on hard is Tisdale and takes care of that. So he got under it just a bit. Flies out to Tisdale in center field. That's going to bring up Santiago. Santiago has been out on a couple of flies, one to center, one to left, and then a ground out unassisted to Brewer down at first. There's a fastball right through there for a strike called. There's a ball headed into center field, but that's going to be right at Edwards. So a fly out to right, a fly out to center, a fly out to right. And we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Blue Devils trailing 7-4. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. All right, Killian back for another inning of work. He got the last 2 outs and actually got all 3 outs in the 7th inning. He came in with a couple of runners on, and they had a sac bunt and then a punch out and a ground out. So that's going to bring up Jordan Black. Black will lead things off here in the bottom of the 8th. There's a check swing, but a strike called regardless. Black's popped out twice to Mervosh and had a base hit into right field. Oh, 0-1 the count. on the third baseman, Jordan Black. There's a swing and a miss. So quickly on to the count on Jordan Black. There's a ball headed into deep center field. On the run is Kern, and he's got it. He runs that down past the 375 sign at the warning track. So ran a long way to take care of that one for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Tisdale. Tisdale will step in with one out and nobody on. He's been hit by a pitch, hit a line drive to Goldbeck and had a double into right center. Swing and a miss of that first pitch. On one the count. Four to 7 lead by the Cavaliers. That misses a little bit inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Killian trying to get the Blue Devils in for the top of the 9th with no more lead than this 3-run 4 to 7 to 4 lead. There's a swing and a miss of that pitch. So 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. So back to the top of the order and McClure. Jake McClure is the left fielder. He's had a ground out, a couple of base hits, and an RBI on a ground out back to actually a sac bunt. Back to the pitcher. And Vaughter came over to get a ball that was a tough play, and Basler was a little late getting there. There's a strike. 0-1 the count. Misses outside. 1-1 the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Killian trying to get the Blue Devils back in to hit. There's a ball headed into left field. Left center, and a long way over to run that down was Brady Kern. So no runs on no hits. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Blue Devils trail by 3. We've got some work to do. Let's go, Blue Devils. All right, to the top of the 9th inning we go. Blue Devils scheduled up is Nolan the 4th, Dirks, and Mervosh. The Blue Devils need 3 to keep this thing going, 4 to take the lead. Nolan the 4th steps in. Stone back for another inning of work, going to try and finish this thing out himself. There's a strike inside corner. I don't think that was a 40-mile-an-hour pitch, as the scoreboard said. 1 for 3 is Nolan with a base hit and a ground out and a strikeout, and there's a swing and a miss. So 1-2 the count on Nolan the fourth. Blue Devils down to their last 3 outs. We've got some work to do here. Just a little bit outside, 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Just a little bit wider than that low outside strike that you've heard me talk about. Here comes the 2-2. Fouls that away and over the right field side and out of the stadium. So Nolan the fourth earns another pitch with that foul. That's up high. 3-2 the count now. Blue Devils could use a base runner here. Comes the 3-2 pitch, and there's a ground ball headed toward right. Mosh cuts it off and over to Brewer for the 4-3 ground out. That's going to bring up Dirks. Dirks is 0 for 2 with a sac bunt and a couple of called out on strikes. There's a misses outside, ball 1. I thought that'd be a strike right there. There's a strike right through there. Winner plays tomorrow at 4. At 4, and the loser plays at 1. There's another strike right through there. So 1-2 the count on the right fielder, Marcus Dirks. There's a ball lifted into left field, cruising over is McClure, and McClure takes care of that for the second out of the inning. So Mervosh will come to the plate with the Blue Devils' last out, and last out available to get this game to go any further. There's a strike called outside corner at the knees. So 0-1 the count. Foul ball back to the screen. 94-mile-an-hour fastball right there. So the Blue Devils down to their last strike for the time being. There's a late swinging ball headed down to the bullpen. We'll do the 0-2 again, so gets a late swing and stays alive, does Mervosh. He's grounded out 3 times in this one. It's another foul back on the right field side. And another foul. So 0-2 the count, and this is about to be the 6th pitch of the at-bat. Another foul up and into the stadium. So still 0-2. 4 straight foul balls with an 0-2 count, so a battle. Just misses low and outside, so 1-2 the count. 8th pitch of the at-bat, and the count is just 1-2. That's outside. Come on now, fans. Be begging for that one. That's way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Comes the wind and the 2-2. And a foul back to the screen. 10th pitch of the at-bat forthcoming. Mervosh not wanting to give this thing up, and a little check swing for a foul ball. Brendan Stone wants to finish it off. Jackson Mervosh wants to keep it going. That's up high. So 3-2 the count. Comes the 3-2. And a swing and a miss for the strikeout. So the Blue Devils go down 7-3. 7-4. Brandon Stone with the complete game. And they will move to the winner's bracket game tomorrow. KCK will drop into the loser's bracket and play at 1 p.m. We'll have that game for you right here for those that do not pay to watch the game with CSN. I like it either way. I don't like the outcome of this one, but the Blue Devils lose 7-4. We'll go get ready for tomorrow. I will see you right back here for the game at 1 p.m. Have a good evening.